I don't even know where to begin with these two. One of them, I think her name is Maureen Callahan, and the other is Kinsey Schofield. I have seen the latter around, but I have avoided using her name, because I didn't want to give her, I just didn't want to acknowledge her brand of quote unquote journalism, so I haven't used her name on my site maybe once, maybe twice. This could be maximum 3 times. So here you go. But I sat and I watched, I would say, hang on a second. The cough is still with me. I watched most of this discussion between these two. I don't know what to call them. I don't want to call them bovines, but because that just would not be appropriate. It would not be appropriate. And they're not that fat either. And it's just not appropriate. So I'm not going to say that. But they take you there, one has to admit, doesn't one? They take you there. So you start thinking of all kinds of hideous names to call them, and you don't want to be this person. You know what I mean? You want to be, like Jesus Christina, you know? So anyway, they spent the entire almost hour talking about Harry and Meghan. And there was that one nanosecond where they mentioned William's name, William and Kate, and the fact that, Harry tried to upstage William with the Canada trip. And, William, my big thing is, how do you, with a straight face, claim that Harry and Meghan are unimportant? William and Kate are uber important. They are the pinnacle of, the aristocracy. They are well organized. They're newsworthy. They're this, they're that, right? And you spend an entire hour talking about Harry and Meghan and not delving into any updates about Kate and William in a serious way. I mean, William is in Brazil right now, and you would think that they would spend 40 minutes of this podcast talking about William's trip to Brazil, telling us what's going on there. I have no idea what's going on in Brazil because I haven't seen any news about it. I'm not kidding. What is going on in Brazil with the Earthshot Prize? I know that they said Kylie Minogue will be performing. Has she already performed? What did she wear? What about William? What was he wearing? Whose hands did he shake? Did he walk up a red carpet? Did he mention anything about anyone of importance? Maybe his mother, maybe his relationship with Camilla, maybe his wife Kate. Was Kate there? Did Kate show up as a surprise? In other words, any details at all about William's trip, since you claim that he is so much more popular than Harry and Meghan, that Harry and Meghan are unimportant? How do you spend an entire hour talking about the unimportant people and not updating your guests about the important people? Who won the Earthshot Prize? Has it been? Is it finished? Like, I just don't know what's going on with the Earthshot Prize. How can that be possible when you have 24-hour a day royal news coverage coming out of both the United States and the United Kingdom? How does no one talk about what's happening with William in Brazil? Who are the contenders for the Earthshot Prize? Why isn't there an in-depth analysis of that? What are the Earthshot Prize contenders offering the world? Why are they even contenders? How do you not spend 40 minutes talking about that? How do you spend 50 minutes, an hour talking about Harry and Meghan? I mean, I do mean everything. Meghan's, as ever, jams on Oprah's favorite lists. Harry and the hat gate. I mean, Harry's trip to Canada, Meghan going back into acting. I mean, the works. They just spent an hour informing their public about everything this unimportant couple is doing. It just doesn't. I know I say this every single day. I know that Sussex Squad is like, shut up already. We know that Harry and Meghan are important, which is why they talk about them. But I can't reconcile it. I mean, I say it every single day. How do you spend so much time talking about, and, this whole thing with the title? I mean, it's like they really are convinced. I don't think they are convinced. I think they're saying this not even to try to convince themselves or to convince their audience, because they all know it's BS. They're saying it to irritate the living bejesus, and they are doing that quite successfully, might I add. The living bejesus out of Meghan, Harry, and their fans. This thing with the titles, right? This thing with the titles. They know that William has no power over Harry and Meghan with the titles. They know that where these titles are concerned, nobody gives an F-U-C-K. Nobody gives an F-U-C-K. And they know this. They know this, right? William takes Harry and Meghan's titles. I mean, not even William. Let's not even wait that long. Charles takes those titles tonight. Life goes on. I mean, it will be a big story the next day. It's content. But in the end, these two bozos and their compadres will continue to talk about Meghan and Harry every single day, even though they have no titles, because the titles have nothing to do with why they are obsessed with Harry and Meghan. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. The titles are irrelevant. The titles hold no sway, no power over Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan will continue to be Harry and Meghan. They'll continue to do exactly the things they're doing. Meghan will continue with as ever. She will continue with her acting career. She will continue to be fascinating, and Harry will do the same ditto. Okay. He will continue to have the invective skips. The titles don't mean diddly squat. I dare Charles. I dare him tomorrow morning, wake up on the right side of the bed if you want. I don't give a crap, okay? And take the titles. Just take the titles, because at this point, you're grating on my last nerve, my last executive nerve with this title crap, okay, heifers?